Zeus is the most famous Greek god. Numerous myths and legends tell about his wonderful character and love affairs. He had many wives, children and mistresses. Zeus loved to fight, especially with the Asgardian god Thor. In the comics, they fought often and very brutally. This Olympian machine of might notably ruffled the nerves of the god of thunder. Zeus constantly humiliated the Asgardian princess. All that remained for Odin was to shamefully pretend to be dead, in the hope that the Greek god would get bored of beating him and he would return to drink on Olympus. However, in the film, Odin's son makes short work of Zeus by boldly throwing lightning at the Olympian god's heart. As a result, Zeus remains alive, but the sediment remains. Viewers unfamiliar with Marvel Comics might think that Zeus is a rag, a weakling, that he is insignificant compared to the mighty Thor. Friends, I propose to restore justice and remember that Zeus is much stronger than Thor. Today we will talk about his abilities, about the differences between the Asgardian and Greek gods, and, of course, we will compare Zeus and Odin. Believe me, it will be interesting. And if you like my videos then please like. Enjoy watching. In comics, the gods are as vicious as humans. Zeus was a famous womanizer, he liked to drink and fight well, but he was also a loving father, a wise ruler and, of course, the strongest Olympian god. Odin was considered the strongest Asgardian because he could control Odin's power, Odinforce. This is a powerful magical energy with which Thor's father can increase his physical characteristics, such as strength and speed, can teleport himself and others, endow objects and people with powerful abilities, emit energy beams, and is able to do much more. Even change reality, matter and time itself. It has often been noted in the comics that Odin's strength is only matched by that of Zeus. The Olympic god of thunder and lightning also controls a special magical energy called the power of Olympus or Olymphos. This force is in no way inferior to Odinforce in terms of capabilities. Moreover, in an alternative future, they showed that the powers of all the Olympic gods, from their abilities to immortality, are a piece of Zeus's energy, which he can return to himself if he wishes. Friends, Zeus gave part of his power to the Greek gods, and if he takes it back, he will return his real power. As a result, Zeus is weakened because he distributed part of his strength to others. Given that in the comics, a weakened Zeus is not inferior in strength to Odin, it is obvious to us that the Olympian god is stronger than the Asgardian one. Add to this that in the old comics, Zeus sacrificed part of Olympus in order to resurrect Odin. It is not surprising that Thor's father respects and even fears Zeus. In the comics, he communicates with him in a very respectful and polite manner. And if there are disputes, then usually it doesn't come to a massacre, and if it does, then everything ends in a draw. Both Odin and Zeus admit that the war between the factions will be painful for both sides. Therefore, a non-aggression pact was concluded between Olympus and Asgard. Both are also members of the Elite Council. This is a small group of the most important, wise and powerful gods. They come together to solve important and large-scale issues on which the fate of the entire universe depends. I will note the main difference between Odinforce and Olympus. The power of Odin needs to be charged from time to time, for this Odin falls into his famous dream, which we saw in the first part of Thor. This is a serious shortcoming. But the power of Olympus does not need to be charged, the energy of Zeus does not require restoration. The Olympic gods live in a pocket dimension, you can get there only through Mount Olympus. And although the dimension is called pocket, in fact, it is of unlimited size. It has its own planets, stars and even universes. Unlike the Asgardians, the Olympian gods do not age. They are immortal, and it is completely impossible to destroy them. So it shouldn't be surprising that the Olympian god was able to survive Thor's lightning in the movie. Even if Zeus gets severely injured or, say, dies, he will either resurrect himself or another god, for example, Odin, can resurrect him. But you still try to defeat him. He knows all events in advance, he can travel through time, change reality on a planetary scale, and even erase the Hulk from reality with the power of thought. But death is too easy a punishment for the green monster. Zeus wanted to mock Banner, so he magically weakened the Hulk and then knocked him out with one energy blast. With one small flash, he reduced Ares to a pile of ash. But Ares survived the nuclear explosion. Of course, Zeus can cause rain and create thunder and lightning, disperse clouds, and even drown entire settlements, sending them huge waves. He can turn others to stone, increase in size to be taller than mountains, and can change his appearance as he pleases. I also note that in comics the level of power of a god depends on how many people know him, how many people believe in him, and how many people pray to him. This is true for both Asgardian and Olympian deities. Both Zeus and Odin were lucky, they are very popular. And after the premiere of the fourth Thor, the popularity, and hence the strength of Zeus, increased many times over. That is, Waititi in the film seems to have humiliated God, but in fact, increased his power. In general, any god in Marvel Comics is the physical embodiment of human myths, ideas and concepts. Therefore, the gods cannot be completely destroyed. Of course, some omnipotent being, such as the Beyonder, can split their physical body into atoms, but this is just a shell that can be recreated. As long as there is at least one living being who knows about Zeus, then he will live, and if necessary, then resurrect. Friends, Zeus in the comics defeated Thor and the rest of the Avengers, was not inferior in strength, and was even stronger than Odin himself, knocked out the Hulk himself, and I have not yet told you about the artifacts of the handsome Greek. In the film, we were shown his lightning and the golden mace of Hephaestus, which in the comics is not inferior in power to Thor's hammer itself. In general, the Olympian god is wildly strong and dangerous. He may well become the main villain not only for the fifth part of Thor, but for the entire fifth phase of the MCU. But that is another story. Be sure to like the video if you believe in the existence of Zeus and Odin. Let's support the gods. No one believed in Odin, and his Adinfers ceased to stand with age. As a result, Frigga walked drooping, and even Odin himself became sad and went to Valhalla. And Zeus needs to appease the whole Olympic harem, and even save strength for the fifth part of Thor, in order to take revenge on Odinson. So friends, support Zeus with your likes.